Right.
Yeah, so you once you log in into your DSL account, you begin the reviews. First, you go to your profile, scroll down under your profile. That's just you click on the avatar or your profile picture. Then you scroll down. Please use desktop, not mobile, because from Fan 12, I think mobile version is no longer ideally accepted for you to use that. The desktop is recommended. So either you are using a laptop or the desktop computer to be able to do the reviews. Because once you use that, you will get the review and you get your allocated proposals. So you click on each proposal and then you do that. Then what happens to it, I think we'll highlight on that. A lot of people will end up reviewing non-allocated proposal because they either click next or they just click randomly on any proposal I thought that comes up. No, make sure you are reviewing your allocations. So you can either copy all the links to your allocated proposal. If it is 30, if it is 80, you can copy them somewhere, create some Google Docs or a notes node and paste all these links and number it. And then you start clicking. Once you click open, you log in and then you calculate your review to ensure that you don't miss out or you don't go and review a non-allocated proposal. Now, the fourth point is for level 0, level 1 reviewers, they can review proposals from any fund categories. However, Catalyst suggests that opinions are most valuable when reviewing proposals from areas and subject matter that the community reviewer is familiar with. So if you're not familiar with products or programming or developing, you don't have to, select such category because people will submit a lot of ideas on that. And when you read it, you yourself might not even understand what the person is talking about. If you don't understand the proposal or the concept, how then do you criticize it? How do you review it? So you need to have experience in that in a particular field, the ecosystem, products. If someone is talking about DeFi, decentralized finance, they understand decentralized finance, NFTs, exchanges. There are several, solutions that people will propose in the ecosystem. So you just need, even if you don't have the experience, and that's one beautiful thing about Project Kata because these things expose you. You will learn because if you want to review, you want to do a good job. So you'll be compelled to learn about certain concepts to be able to conduct a better review. So next, let's see what we'll look at. Now, yeah, so level 0, level 1 gets allocation and reviewers can choose to review outside. Yes, you can refuse to review, but without reward. And once a review is submitted, it will pass through Catalyst scripts and they look at the length, the similarity, the profanity, and the use of AI. So the length, 150 words, 150 character, the threshold. So if you put the 100 characters, the length, it will not even pass, it will not even come to the moderation stage. But similarity will come. Profanity will come. Profanity based similarity means that your comments that I have stated, are they similar to other reviews? Someone can just pick the same reasons or rationale that I've given to a particular proposal, and then the person will repeat the same reasons or the same reviews in subsequent reviews. And these things will show when we are in the moderation stage. To show that this your review is similar to another review, similar. So if there are more, the moderator can flag your review, and that will not be counted as a valid review. Profanity. So in on similarity, let's try to be original. Let's try to give different reasons for different ideas and not repeat ourselves. So you can, you can be taking notes. You can use notebooks to guide you to do that. Profanity, avoid, negativities, avoid a lot of, assaults, criticize professionally, and try to respect other views, other people's views. It's proposal. That's what we call a proposal. Proposal basically is a suggestion, an idea, it's a concept. This is what the person wants to do. This is a solution. This is a problem that exists, and this is what the person wants to do to solve it, or this is what the company or the team wants to do to solve that problem. So you need to respect their view. And even if they are talking outside blockchain or outside Cardano or outside Catalyst, let's try as much as possible to put your comment in a very polite tone so that it will not be profanity. Then use of AI, I indicated that earlier. Avoid, AI tools be able to generate your comment, else the scripts will get them and your reviews may get flagged. Now all flag reviews will randomly be allocated.
So
Yeah, good for analysis. And after once voting has concluded, the reward calculation begins. And from level 0 to level 2, the review calculations have been done. And then rewards will be distributed to all community reviewers. Just like that. As you saw, there's an allocation for that. So it's a lot of work. It demands commitment, put so that you get okay. So you can look at this link, sample successfully committed or sample successfully community reviews. So the link is there. You can look at that and have it and so that it will guide you regarding how you can also go about your reviews, especially those that are performing community review for the first time in this quantitative round. Next, for this should the end, right? Yeah, Q&A. Rob, you are muted if you are talking. So thanks so much. This
it's Q&A. So after the Q&A, maybe we just have a look at the
yeah. Okay, someone is asking for the link on the chat. This the sample
so
to use.
what we'll do is that wow,
Yeah, so you scan to get the guide.
get the guy.
So scan here to get a guide. If you have a question, you can come
Bro,
up,
hey bro.
mute or put it in the chat. Then we see how we can respond to it. So this is the guide for the quantitating. Every funding round is a guide for that, regarding how you can propose, how you can review, what are the requirements.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello.
Okay.
Good morning. Please, I wanted to ask about the review account. For instance, I have a review account. First, I successfully did the level 0 this thing, but the second one, when I registered, they didn't allocate me the review. So can I still use that account to register or to register as a reviewer, or I should ignore or shouldn't do it and use different account to do it?
Yes, Manap, you can still use that to register.
I think Christopher, you want maybe
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christopher is maybe if you are going to respond to that, and then
Yeah. Hello.
and then answer for you can all come on board.
Okay. Yeah. Mustafa,
yes, please.
I think in my view, okay, listening to what the question, what this guy just said regarding to not being allocated the second review. What I found or what I learned was that, you see, they open a period for registration. Even though you have already registered to be a member or to do review, okay, there's a particular period that where they reopen the pool, or they reopen the space for an update to whether you really want to do infantating. So what happens is, and even this thing happened to some of the level ones, just fan 12. What happened is, if you would think you've already registered, so it's automatic for you to be allocated, but it's not automatic. If you really don't do the update or the period that they open for reviewers interested to resubmit their interest or re-update their profile, you will see most likely you will not get allocation for that funding round. So it's not automatic that I've registered. And some also, maybe some new members also register, okay, thinking that is just they'll get allocation. But if the update period comes and you don't re-update your profile, it's most likely that you won't get allocation. So I think that is what I observed or what I learned within the past period. So
yeah, also thanks for that addition. I couldn't agree more with you, you know. Wow, the issue is that we need to be very vigilant at times and pay attention to details. I indicate them. There will be mails. I mean, every Friday there are newsletters that come from the Catalyst team, and there are updates regarding what you should do at each stage. So once you miss a stage, even voting, someone will connect the wallet, and when snapshot is taken, the person unfortunately will not be able to get the wallet being snapshot. and they will find it difficult voting. Why? Because the Catalyst thing will announce that please update your wallet, Catalyst voting app, to the latest version, because there has been some upgradement. So once you don't update your wallet, although you registered, all right, you corrected your wallet. If you don't update your wallet, your voting app wallet, you will not be able to vote. And you end up complaining, oh, I registered, I couldn't get a chance to vote. So please pay attention. As Chris mentioned, yes, if you ask to update your profiles, you need to just log in again and update. You don't just sign up and close it. You don't open again. You wait until when review start. Yes, there are updates, even if you don't open your account again. But when emails are sent, when you're part of our community channels and we put in updates, try to reach these updates, because we don't even have that time to call everyone. Okay, there's this, do this, there's that. A lot of people are in the space. We can't make phone calls. It's just messages,
Okay.
emails that are sent out. Yeah. So
So
Manaf, I think last week you asked the same question and said to advise you to create a new account and possibly register with it this time around. And because he suspect, or we suspect, there could be something peculiar, something problem that is just peculiar to your account, and you may not have to. It may be risky repeating the same account and getting rejected this time around. But I think that maybe you can investigate that. If I don't know if you did a follow up on with the Canada, of course, because they asked everyone to reach out. I don't know if you reach out and you got feedback from them regarding the reason that why you were not given allocations.
Yes, I contacted them. I sent them an email. They replied that they've seen that my IP address have been used to create another account. Yes,
see.
yes. So that's the reason. I
Mhm.
don't know whether if I should use the same, because now it means I'm just starting from zero again.
okay, so
Oh, you
what
are
happened
level
is
zero,
that
right? Oh, you are level. You have
Mustafa,
a promotion on that account.
before Samamafu come,
Yeah,
I think
okay, Prof. Go ahead.
Nana was to also to advise the community on what to do, what not to do. If Nana will come, that might answer a lot of the questions before
Okay.
Samuel will come. So Samuel, we are aware of you. So Nana Safo, you can also come with your comments, and then before Madam as well.
Is it in a hand?
All right.
No.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nana Safo. I've been in the community for a while now. I think since Fund 3, and I've been participating as in various roles, and notable amongst them are community moderation. So I've been doing this community reviewer and then the veteran staff for a while, and I'm glad to share with you all my experience regarding what to do and what not to do as a community reviewer in the process. So most of the times you receive complaints from people in the community, especially the new ones, when they do the work and then at the end of the day, they don't get any rewards and they are very agitated and, very disappointed as to whether they should even continue or not. It becomes a problem for them. And it is not just for those who actually do the community reviews, even for those who even propose. Sometimes the disappointment is so huge that they are not able to put themselves together and then repropose for the next funding round. But like we always say, Catalyst is always an iteration process. So if you try Fund X and you don't get Fund X, don't find it a problem to try Fund XI. All right. You only have to put yourself together and then look at what you did in the Fund X, and you will be provided with feedback from the community as to what you could do better and then what you could probably take out of your work so that you are eligible for either funding or rewards in the next funding round. So you have to take into consideration these feedbacks that is coming from the community, and then reintegrate that into your idea so that you're able to get funding probably in the next funding round. And it applies the same with those who do the reviewer work. I believe well, I don't know, but it could be said that majority of community reviewers, right after their work and the rewards are released, they don't go back to their previous work to assess or even look at what feedback is coming from the moderation. And that is one major problem that people actually get to face when they want to be part of the community. If you are somebody who do not regard feedback, then all the time you will find yourself entangled in peculiar situations, and you'll be agitating in the community for no reason, basically, because for whichever reason you are agitating, probably the answer to that particular reason or problem is in the feedbacks that you ignored or you avoided in the previous funding round. So I always say that as a community reviewer, regardless of whichever level you are, you need to pay close attention to feedback. That is the first thing I would say. As a do, pay close attention to feedback. Never ignore feedbacks. The second thing I would say is that you must consider your time and the effort that you are inputting. This work is very difficult. I always say it's very difficult. So sometimes I'm even upset with the reward structure because I feel like it is not rewarding enough to actually encourage people to, do more or do their best. Because I don't know how people do their reviews, but during my days of reviewing, you could spend like 2 hours on a single proposal because you have to read for the first time, read again for the second time, and probably the third time before you're able to come up with insights that you would use for your assessment. And it is by doing that you will probably not find your assessment being flagged as AI generated, AI motivated, similarities and stuff, right? Because now what it means is that you have taken your time to understand the nitty-gritties of the proposal, and out of your understanding, you have been able to generate your thoughts about the proposal. So it makes your assessment very unique. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that consider your effort. Consider the amount of time you put in each proposal in terms of reviewing it. And then consider the amount of time you put in, constructing your sentences for a review. Because this is very critical in determining, or this is very critical for you to bypass the script phase. Other than that, you will find your proposals your reviews being flagged as either similar to someone's own or being generated by AI. And sometimes it is not our fault. Sometimes what we do is we take our time to write, explicit assessments, but at the end of the day, because of the tonation, because of how it sounds, it is being flagged as AI generated. So you don't get a reward for that. But meanwhile, you know very well you didn't use AI, right? But like I always say, AI is always learning. Machine learning is always evolving. So if AI is always learning, and if AI is privy to database that you and I probably are not even privy to, it is about 90% chance that whatever you put in your context as an assessment, AI already knows about it. So if they use, a module that is very strong, right? That is connected to a lot of database, then it is obvious that majority of your words or sentence structures will be determined as AI motivated. Meanwhile, you didn't use AI, right? So just try and consider your efforts that you put in terms of time and everything. If it is worth it, go ahead and do it. If you feel it is not worth it, then you can look at the other way. Then the next thing I will talk about is the fact that do not discuss your assessments with your friends before submission. There are some people, they have no interest in sitting down and reading and analyzing what the issues are before putting together assessments. Instead, what they do is they go around trying to listen to people and then from there, what they gather from there, they put it together and then they submit. Of course, like Mustafa has said, you need to pay attention to your allocations and ensure that you are always working on your allocations. But believe you me, there could be a possibility that your allocations, 1, 2, or 3, or maybe 5 or 10 out of them were also allocated to a friend that you probably do not know were allocated to. So you go around, you have discussions with them. They will pick up your ideas because they have similar or same allocations. They will then go ahead and then go and submit. And at the end of the day, your assessment will be flagged as similarity. So your job or your input will be will be in vain. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. So to be on the safer side, try as much as possible not to discuss your reviews with any of your colleagues until the rewards are in. Then if you want to share feedback, you can go ahead and share feedback from there. Then the next thing I would say is that you need to always make sure that the address that you are attaching to your application is active. And if I say active, I mean to say that you have the seed phrase to that particular address. Because we have encountered situations where people submit addresses and somehow they lose their address, and because they don't have the seed phrase, they are unable to restore it. So when rewards are even paid, they don't get to enjoy the fruits of the labor that they did. So, signing up, ensure that whatever address that you are putting in there, you have the seed phrase secured, so that if there are any mishaps, you are able to, redeem yourself with your seed phrase and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And then the last, so now I've given you guys like 2 don'ts and then, 3 do's. I'll give you 1 more don't, and then I'll probably, bring my advice to a close so that we can continue with other stuff. So the last don't I'll talk about is the fact that when you are reviewing the proposals, you don't need to be, you don't need to be extremely critical about your thoughts. Personally, I've fallen victim to this, so I have to share this so that maybe somebody, you would also be looking at being very critical about the issues, and then you end up writing too much, and you end up trust me, this is it. Moderators, they just want simple lifestyle. They want to live a very simple lifestyle, so they don't have the time to actually read, series of paragraphs trying to critique a particular proposal. And like Mustafa said, it is just a proposal, right? Of course, if funded, it has to be implemented to become a project, a working project. So sometimes we want to be very critical about the issues and understand, and ensure that whatever the community is voting on is going to yield proper results, right? But trust me, I've tried it before, and I will say it here. Being very critical might not really help you especially as a level 0 moderator, a reviewer. If you're level 1, you could be very critical, but if you're level 0, just try and be very simple with your assessments. Don't write too much, stay within the margin. 150 characters should do. And then, you should be okay for maybe a good or excellent tag from the moderator so that you can receive your rewards at the end of the day. Yeah. Thanks once again for having me here. And I'll be on standby if there are any questions whatsoever. I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks very much, Nana Safo, for that. Maybe you should bring back time with Nana Safo. I keep telling you this, that you should bring back that time with Nana Safo show to walk us through community reviews. In fact, some of us who were the time we're just exploring Project Kata, we took advantage of your sessions. Courtesy Wada, through whether you were able to host time with Nana Safo, and we got a lot of insights regarding the community review stage. It's just because that things gets updated every funding round. There are new guidelines to guide the round. So So we need to pay attention to the guide and the rules that governs every state, because they are even the nomenclature changes, the naming of things. Because we had previously we're having PA, proposal assessor, to CR, community reviewer, and moderators, proposers, and assessors, veterans, and we're having veterans, assessors, VAs. Now we have community moderators. So that's just how the terminology changes. So thanks so much for sharing that. I think that the potential reviewers have taken notice of that, the pros and cons, and they will make sure they have that in mind when they are going about their reviews.
So Samuel Hans, it has been up for a while. So
Okay.
can unmute yourself and then ask your question.
Someone
Mafu.
Mafo.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Please, during Mustafa's presentation, he mentioned that I think I was trying to help. I mean, with the first time reviewers. So the last time during the Fan 12, I reviewed 29 proposals. And after the moderation, I looked through so there was a document that showed the number of proposals you did, and the ones that passed, and all of that. But when I looked through mine, I saw that out of the 29, 20, almost a lot of it passed. But I realized that a lot of the proposals I reviewed were not assigned to me. I realized only seven were assigned to me, and the rest were not assigned to me. So Mustafa mentioned that you can, as a way to help yourself, you can copy and just make a list of the proposals assigned to you somewhere, so that when you are. So I want to ask how do you, get to know the proposals that have been assigned to you? Because when you check on your profile, when you scroll down, it's like you see a list of proposals down there, and there are no indicators to show that this one is assigned to you. I don't know if I'm the only one who experienced that. Yeah, that's my question. I want to know how to identify proposals that have been assigned to you when you look on this one.
All right, thanks, Samuel. So what happens is once you are using desktop, again, please use desktop to view your profile. If you log into IdeaScale, click on your profile avatar or your profile picture. Then you scroll down. So as you are scrolling down, you see the date you join, your bio, what describes you, a teacher, a community manager, entrepreneur, those things. Then you will see your communities you belong or ideas that you follow. You will see your proposal ID, and the allocations follows. You see proposal allocations. So once you see the proposal allocation to be listed, they are just links. They are hyperlinks. Okay, you see only the proposal titles, but they are in blue. They will be in blue. And blue tells you that these are hyperlinks. So once you right click, if you point the cursor on any of these titles and you right click, you will see copy link. Copy link to the proposal. So you copy all the links. You are copying the links, and then you arrange them somewhere. So you follow that. So if you are a level 0 reviewer, it will be less than 30 or 29. Then you just you right click on each of these proposal titles to copy their associated links and paste them somewhere, arrange them so that you just click and open, click on open. I think so you may have another strategy regarding how you can have that.
So Mustafa, if I may just share my screen and then show him how to identify
sure. You can
the assign allocation, and then maybe so I want to I'm sharing my screen now. So as Mustafa may mention, when you open the IdeaScale, this is the landing page of the IdeaScale. So you locate your profile. This is my profile, and then I click on my name. So you see in it. So when you come, this is what he was just explaining. So you see my bio: entrepreneur, graphic design, digital marketing, communication development, information technology. These are the categories are selected during the last fund. Then so it is there. My wallet address is here. My level is here. You see it. Fund allocation. So in the case of Fund 30, it will be Fund 13 allocation. So do not edit. So all this proposal are the proposal you are supposed to review. If you review this proposal, it will give you the actual reward. What happens with regards to review outside allocation is that your rewards will not be as when you review your allocated proposals. So try to possible and review your allocated proposals. So these are my proposal. And then if you don't have a laptop to be able to do that, you just have to go to the internet and then log in with your details and then copy this information to your phone, and then you'll be able to have it done. And then if you have a laptop, you can open this way. Once you click on it, it will send you direct to the proposal so that you read it and then you begin your assessment. So try your possible. That's how you do it. And if you ask you, Mustafa was saying how to copy it, just come to this, your allocation, and then maybe at the beginning and copy all. I'm copying all. So up to here. This is the last proposal. So I'll just click Ctrl C on my PC, and then what we do, the strategy that we use is to I'll then go back and then locate my Microsoft Word. When I locate Microsoft Word, I'll press Ctrl V. So when I press Ctrl V, you can see that it's have copied all the proposals and then paste it on Microsoft Word. So what you have to do is that just save this one. Don't do anything to it. Just save it, file, and then save as at PDF. So you drop down and save it at PDF. So when you save at PDF, you choose the location that you want to save it on, and then you give a name to it. You can name it my allocation or whatever you want to name it. After naming it, you just save it. So this file will be you can find it on your desktop as it is on my desktop. You just copy this onto your phone. So once you open it on your phone and click on it, it will send you direct to IdeaScale. You can proceed with your assessment. So this is just a quick one on how to find your allocated proposal. So thank you.
Yeah, that's clear. I hope some other answers your question now. So yes, you can do outside allocations, but you will not. Yes, someone you can come again. Your hand is up.
I used a laptop during the review process, and it's the very same thing. What SABE has taken us to, the proposals I reviewed were in the same column. I think I did it in a very same order. But I don't know, maybe something went wrong. I don't know what actually happened, but I mean, when the results, when the document was released and I checked, that's what came up. So I don't really understand what.
So you saw that about 7 was just those that were allocated. The rest.
Yes, the rest were allocated. Yes.
Oh, that's strange. What we know is that once you are allocated to that, and you are sure that you didn't do outside that, yes.
Hello.
Well, you could do all your allocations, but still do outside your allocations. But the valid review counts. If such reviews were not valid or were not accepted, you will have the mix. You will have a mix.
Right. So the next of when and Chris is saying something, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So also to respond to the guy's issue, is there no possibility that he used the next button? Okay, see, when the proposal comes and mistakenly you forget, you just click the next. It will most likely give you an unallocated proposal.
Yeah.
Okay, so if maybe by chance it wasn't intentional, but you see at a point after when you are done reviewing, you just click next and the next proposal will come. So if maybe by chance that was done, it's likely it can also cause to why he got some unallocated project review.
Just as someone was quite he's certain that he did all the allocations, That's what is confusing here. Because then, as you mentioned, Chris, the next feature actually, affects a lot. You may even come out. You can just come out to your allocations after click open and submitted a review. You can return to allocations, and you happen to just click on unallocated proposal because of the titles. The titles can just confuse you. You would think that this is a part of your allocations, and it may not. So this time around, we need to be very careful. You can either just highlight, copy them, arrange them somewhere, sort them out, and you click open. Or if you want to use the mobile to do that, you have them on your data, your notebook. You then use your mobile phone to access. Yeah, Nana Savohan is up. Thanks for that addition, Chris. Thank you. So
Yeah, I think Chris' submission is one main cause for such mishaps, and I think the best Samuel probably should have done was to, report about the issue. Earlier, right? Before the Fan 12 community reviewer for level zeros were even disbursed, so that the team probably could have had the chance to look at it and then figure things out, right? But like we always say, things may break, but that doesn't mean that we have to stop whatever we are doing. So, just be extremely vigilant this time around, and then hopefully you'll be able to, recount your losses. And if there was any, you'll be able to recount your losses and then, progress from there. I think Fan 12 basically was entangled with a lot of challenges and issues. So some of these things, might be oversight for the core team to even want to look at it. So sometimes we have to also make use of the report button very carefully so that we're able to get our issues heard and then resolved for us. Yeah, thanks.
Right. So the Fan 12 gave us a lot of headache or lessons to learn. I think, as you may mention, the core team have already taken it upon themselves to resolve some of these challenges. That's why I think they are implementing the identity metric in this Fan 13. We thought maybe today we could have started the registration and see how the identity was going to go. We could have assessed people. So what we just want to assure members is that when it is done open and then we've started the registration and we've seen that there's the need for us to come up together and address some problems. We might just quick organize another same call so that those who are finding it difficult to verify themselves, they will definitely do, because they've implemented due diligence in Fan 12. I think Christopher is also here. We saw how it was how headache for us to get it done, because some of us here doing that verification was not easy. They ask you to prove your address when you key in or the available address or your proof of documents, the system is rejecting. So let's see how things evolve coming next week. Next week, we will not be discussing Project Catalyst. We'll be discussing Project Catalyst after next week. So maybe we can still comment on Project Catalyst after next week. Any other question on board? Madam is here. Madam have not spoken. This community reviews. Madam has a strategy. If
the veterans that are here, please let me check the list. Fidelia is also here. Please come up and share your
maybe your experience,
advice,
your strategy that you are doing and then it is working for you.
Maybe in subsequent we can take to know some of the demographics, either newbies, first time reviewer.
Yeah. So I've also shared the moderation portal link to the chat. So if you want to see sample successful reviews, just log in there. You'll see some. If you go there, you can see all the reviews which have been submitted in Fan 12. And I think that will be good for you. The house is quiet. Fidelia, nothing
Okay,
to
so
see
I
for
think
now.
usually it's usually a 2-hour call. By 12
But today it's okay.
we should have been ending.
Hello.
If there are none, we'll just try and wrap up. Yes, Ide, go ahead, please.
Okay, from my experience with community review, one thing I've noticed is that the community pays attention to quality over quantity. So for the new reviewers, don't be in a hurry to submit or to review more proposals, but pay attention to what you're doing to make sure that the work that you're submitting is of quality so that you'll be rewarded for your efforts.
Thank you. Thank you. Quality over quantity. So still the same thing. Right. So Mustafa, we still have a good number in the house, but if there are no questions, we can just wrap it up and then inform the house what is next week. Next week will be
So what are we looking at next week?
yes. So next week we'll be discussing intercept. We will having our annual meeting next week as well. So maybe after we'll get our regional lead on board to tell us what intercept is all about. We then guide members of this working group to also register. Those who have already registered, we encourage them to also become individual members, which is the $10. Other than that, they can just register and be an associate member. So next week we will be discussing intercepts. So try or possible, watch out for the registration link and then the information henceforth. So Chris is here once again.
Yeah, so okay, Chris, go. The sun is up.
Hello, Mustafa.
Yes.
Okay. Also, a little submission I would like to come in it with. I think the person who just talked about the quality over quantity is right. Yes, and I would think speaking for the level zeros. Okay, I always advise that being a level zero. Okay, it's a level that I would say it's a learning stage. Okay, or it's a practice stage. So that quality is much needed in that stage. Okay, before definitely when good work is done, you've been promoted or you've been migrated to level 1. Yeah, personally being a level 1, I always say to really enjoy the fruit of your labor, I think it lies in being a level 1 reviewer. Okay, because looking at the model of Catalyst itself, the level 1s are much privileged or are much positioned in rewards wise. Okay, they are positioned well, because I think if my memory serves me right, in the allocation pool of the rewards to reviewers, I think 70% or so goes to level 1. Whilst the 30%, if I'm right, I might be wrong, but I don't know if I'm right, 30 goes to level zeros. Okay, and if you look at the statistics too, always the level zeros are so many, because this recent one that ended, over 2,300 or 2,400 were assigned or were seen to be level zeros, and of which the little pool of 30% of the entire reward just goes to level 0. So you can see in effect how much the reward is going to be for level zeros. So I always advise the level zeros that they should just be consistent with it. Okay, and also I always want to touch on it that per a document I would, if a level 0 is to migrate to level 1, he should successfully complete I think two funding rounds to qualify that person to be a level 1. So I always advise that quality of work should be done, and just pray and hope that the work that is done so far is acknowledged, and the promotion will be due you to level 1. So I think being in level 1, you really feel or you really enjoy the rewards that you get. At that time, I think it's much appreciated as in the rewards that is being shared in level 1. So that's a little advice to level 0. So I think, yes, they should still keep it up. That's it.
Okay, thank you for that.
So,
teaching and advice.
Mr. Kamal is here.
Okay. Kamal.
Mr. Kamal, you can unmute yourself and then we hear you.
Maybe it's a mistake. Sometimes you can just press your hand and Okay.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Okay. I was in a challenge, so I was off for some time.
Okay.
I have observed that I have completed 2 final rounds, and my observation is that my allocation, the proposals allocations, I counted. It was not up to 30, but rather 29. Both the final rounds that I have participated. I don't know whether that was a mistake or maybe it was intentional. And what I want to also ask is that with regards to proposals submission, if you submit a particular proposal and you didn't get funding, can you submit it again, or you have to modify it? I want to know about that. Thank you.
So yeah, thanks for that. So I missed the first question. So I can address the second question, and maybe if Paul heard the first question. So with proposal submission, yeah, first of all, you need to know why was it not accepted? Was it not approved or not funded? And these are things that we need to be very mindful of. The feedbacks. Is it maybe you didn't meet the minimum percentage of the voting threshold, or is it that the budget was exhausted, budget allocation for that particular category was exhausted, and it couldn't your budget amount was higher than the left for the remaining budget? So these are things you should look at. But if it's just that you were eligible for funding and you didn't get funded, yes, once the category that you submitted your proposal in still exists in the next or in the current fund, you can just resubmit it, but try to modify it as you have mentioned. Try to maybe just change the title, add some few things to spice it up, to make it to improve, because there are feedbacks during the community review stage, of which most proposals don't read about. Another mentioned that we need to read feedbacks. So when the aggregate file is released, you need to click on and read all these things, the feedbacks, even the moderation state. There are comments, people that have given a lot of, community reviewers have given a lot of rationale behind their rating. So when you read these comments, it can help you to realign and reshape your idea to better suit the demand of the community. And if that is done, you can resubmit it so that you get higher reviews and the proposal can perform in the current fund. I don't know if that answers your question, Mr. Kamal. If there's a follow-up.
Okay, so
Let
just
me,
okay,
sorry.
now you can.
Let me just add a bit to what Mustafa said. So it is very necessary that you modify your proposal before resubmission for any funding round, right? And one key thing that you need to pay attention to are timelines. So for instance, if in the previous submission you stated that you're going to use like 3 months to implement your project, and you are starting probably in, let's say, July, and then you look forward to ending in, say, September, right? You have to modify that to ensure that the current timelines that you are putting in there is going to suit the next window. Other than that, you will have issues with your proposal, and then you might probably not even pass moderation stage, right? So just look at the timelines, ensure that the timelines that you are having in the proposal for submission are current. And also look within your team to ensure that they are all on board. If someone is not on board, you need to take them out, right? You need to take them out. And also consider the fact that inflation keeps on growing day by day. So you would have to consider, your budget. You would have to look at it and then look at the current, cost of items and probably the next projections so that you can make a very good budget for yourself. Other than that, you get funded, and then usually what happens is that when you submit a proposal for the first time and you don't get funded, sometimes you go second time, you don't get funded, and then the third time you get funded. Sometimes if you're lucky, you get funded the second time. There's a high chance. So what it means is that you need to ensure that your details in there are accurate, and then if you are funded, you're not going to have any issues with implementation, especially in this era that you are dealing with milestone and stuff, right? It is very hectic, so you don't want to find yourself entangled in problems where you'll not be able to resolve. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Chris, you can come. Go answer the second question.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Christopher.
okay. I wanted to find out if we've been able to address Mr. Kamal's question. Maybe you can
the second one was
the first one.
okay. Let me respond to the second one. The first one rather. The first one was that he has participated in 2 final rounds, but he realized that he have always been allocated 29 proposals instead of 30. That was the question, and then I think this might not be peculiar to you alone. Maybe it's just an overlap. If we can write to the Catalyst team to find out, because if it was 1 final round, we could have just said it's an oversight or due to distribution of the total number of proposals on board. But since it has been repeated, I recommend that you write to the Catalyst team so that they take note of that, and then if there's a proper explanation, they'll give to you. So, Christopher, your hand is so up.
And I just think that sometimes that one missing is insignificant. So 29 is 30. So it depends on the number. Sometimes they may not have the accurate number of proposals submitted to spread out. So not everyone will get the exact 88. Some can even get 28 or 27. Yeah. So
right.
Okay, Chris hand was up. It's normal to receive that.
Okay.
Yeah. On the chat. So, Prof,
questions,
I want to highlight something.
Contribution.
I want to highlight something. It looks like, especially on we as proposers, and the challenge that we just having is, especially when Nana Safo commented, it's basically around how we can, fine tune our ideas, how we can better put our concepts very well to really meet the demands of the Project Catalyst experiment. And so I want to suggest or advise that those of us who want to propose, or those of us who are proposers, we try to learn about project management. Basically, this is project management. And if you've never taken any course on project management, you can just go on to Coursera. There are free courses on project management, and you learn how projects, how projects run, the nature, the nomenclature, so that when you're writing your proposals, it becomes easier for you. You are able to put in certain context that would, streamline your text, so that the community and they will know that yes, this proposal really have detail. They have much details in there. I think personally, there is something that has helped me, because prior to joining Project Catalyst, I have been privileged to be part of several, youth focused events like Project Catalyst. And due to my experience in organizing, even writing proposals before even joining Project Catalyst, gave some of us that upper hand and that experience to be able to write the proposal very well that can suit the demand of the ecosystem. And so you may want to check out some courses on Project Catalyst, just free courses, not even paid. Free ones are there. You learn about project management, project scopes, some of the tools that you can use to better manage projects. And even once you launch your project, you can better manage it. But if you don't have that skills in project management, even if you become a funded proposer, you may find it difficult. And that's how can you see some people, they will end up not executing their projects because they'll find it difficult to write a report, submit milestones, submit milestone statements. Just managing teams and all that. Because project management will teach you how to manage teams, how to communicate, how to to use certain tools, use virtual tools, digital technology to be able to better manage most aspects of your project. So this timelines and timing that we are just talking about it. Basically, when you have these skills around that, you'll be able to learn how to better manage your time as a proposer or a project manager. So it's just an advice that I have to add, and that's it.
Right, Nana Safo.
Okay, so
yeah, and just a little to add to what Mustafa has said. I know we were here to discuss community review, but it is also essential to point out some of these issues, because I've observed it for a while now in the ecosystem where, we have had a common goal of onboarding people into the community. But what I've observed so far is that a lot of people, when we onboard them into the community, they don't take the time to actually learn what this is all about. And then quickly they want to submit proposals. Maybe they think, if I submit a proposal and I get funded, I'll get money. So, and in our part of the world, a lot of people are looking for quick money and stuff, right? But trust me, submitting a proposal doesn't guarantee you getting money, right? Of course, if you're part of the team, if you're funded and you implement, obviously you'll be paying yourself some salary, so you get something to hold on yourself. But what I want to say is that before you think of submitting a proposal, look at the region from which you are submitting your proposal from. So for instance, if you are submitting a proposal from Ghana, look at what is going on in Ghana here, right? How many proposals are going in from Ghana? And out of these proposals that are going in from Ghana, how many of them are targeting the same niche as you are also targeting? So for instance, if you are planning to do education and onboarding, you ask yourself how many proposals are going to submit similar proposal. We always see that there's no need to compete over something that you could actually collaborate to implement or execute, right? So if you intend on submitting a proposal, then do make it as part of your plans to attend, other community sessions. So for instance, if WADA is hosting WADA forums to discuss ideas, you should make it a point to be there to know what people are also thinking aloud, right? Because you may find a very good partner from there to be able to propose. And then also, if for instance Cardano Ghana is hosting bi-weekly meetings or weekly meetings to discuss ideas, try to make it a point to be there so that you can also understand and learn from them what they are also planning to actually submit. Sometimes you don't necessarily need to propose on your own, or you don't need to propose your own idea. You just have to be part of a team, and then things will work out from there, right? So we should make it a point, to join these sessions, Catalyst Africa Town Hall, WADA Forum, Cardano Ghana weekly meetings. Make it a point to join these meetings. And when you are there, don't just keep quiet and listen. After listening, when there's an opportunity to ask questions or talk, feel free, come off mute, ask your questions, lay down your concerns, your ideas, and that is how you get to build your team from there, right? Because you have no idea who would be a perfect fit for the implementation of your project until you have a discussion with individuals. Thank you, and I wish everybody the best in 2013.
Thank you, Nana, for that insightful presentation or contribution. So talking about WADA and then Catalyst African Town Hall, it comes every Thursday and Friday respectively. So this Thursday we're at WADA Forum. We discuss a lot. So maybe the next coming lesson we share with the members of this with this house as well. And then Friday's Catalyst African Town Hall also comes. This is where we normally participate as a local community to share and then familiarize ourselves with other members. So definitely when those links are shared, try all possible best and join. I think the WADA Forum was shared in the lesson, but I think through one, I was the only one who joined. So try your possible best and join this. This is where you get the network. You build your network, and then you can form your team to be able to execute on that.
Yeah, so we've been here for a while. 20 minutes. And probably there's none.
So there's no.
Video, I think we've been able to underscore a lot around community reviews. And questions can follow later on our channels. If there are no questions, maybe next week we'll learn about Intersect, member-based organization. Intersect is quite new, and a lot of us, we want to learn about them. They came in so vibrant, the enthusiasm is a lot, bringing topics of constitution, having talk about working groups and all that. So you may want to learn about some of these things. what's the state, what's the fate of the Cardano Constitution now? Where are we now? Is it ratified? Not. What does Intersect 6 to do? I mean, what are the opportunities? As most of us just Project stands alone, Intersect now stands alone, and there are several other rules that I didn't come up. We can see even people marketing themselves to vote them as what rules. There are several community rules going on. So most of you may not get a chance. Maybe you didn't get a chance to hear about some of these, but once you learn about them and you start exploring, you could take out some rules from that, and together we help build or we help grow the Cardano ecosystem, and with our respective different rules. So, Prof.
All right. So thank you, Nana. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Kamal. And thank all for joining. We still have 17 people in the house, so we wrap it here. We drop down a curtains here and then call with the. So next week we see you.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Wish you the best of the day.